Alrighty then. Today's job is trying to figure out what a Michael Carrick team looks like. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Howson, and this is how to beat Villarreal. So currently Manchester United sit top of our Champions League group, but it's precarious and it could absolutely go either way. United really win this game and cement our place into the next round, lose this game, and absolute chaos is going to ensue, and we're going to be relying on other results to go our way to make sure that we're actually in the hat for the next round. Not a great place for us to be. Villarreal are currently 12th, having just drawn 1-1 away to Celta Vigo over the weekend, and they're improperly in different form, which I used to be able to say about United. We're not in indifferent form anymore. It's just shit. In their last 6 games, they've had 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. Proper grey form, that, innit? They did beat Young Boys 2-0 in the Champions League, though, the last time out, so that's always something to keep an eye on. Obviously, Emery goes with a 4-3-3. It's undoubtedly the most common football formation around today. I also think Michael Carrick's going to switch United to a 4-3-3, and I'll get into that in a little bit. Because of the tactical positional fluidity that you get, you can be very, very flexible when it comes to just needing to drop off and defend, but also pushing men into the box. But Emery's mixed it up of late, and due to Villarreal's poor form, he's started tinkering with it, and he's gone with a 4-4-2, and he's gone with a 4-2-2, and he's been trying to find a different spark and a different formula that can work. I still think he's going to go with a 4-3-3 though, and I think he'll just do that to have a bit of an added midfield presence, because they found a lot of success with United sort of flooding that midfield and overloading us there a little bit, and I think that's what they're going to do. And their favourite method of attack is to sort of build up through there and overload that central area, and 4-3-3 does that more than any other formation, really. So I think that they're going to do that. When they get into their attacking phases, they get very attacking. They push the fullbacks up. They look more like a 2-1-4-3 or a 3-4-3 sometimes. Capoue is a bit of a tempo setter for them. He likes to drop inside or alongside the centre halves and really helps them play out, something that I thought he was excellent at Old Trafford. This allows the fullbacks to get really high, really wide, and sort of really start to cause United problems, creating openings. They receive it wide, they drag players wide, creates openings in the centre. They're looking to exploit down the wings. They play nice football, and it's nice to watch. And you know, there's no surprise that when Newcastle were looking for a new manager, Emery was clearly high up on that list. They get numerical advantages in different places by a little bit of work rate, and you know, they also have a little bit of protection just in case things can go awry for them. Wingers narrow up into the final third, creating an overload around your 2 centre-halves, forcing someone else to drop into the back line, and again, causing absolute havoc when they do that. They play nice football. With better players, Villarreal would be a real nightmare for everybody, and I rate Unai Emery. Don't think he was given anywhere near enough time at Arsenal, but it is what it is. Team news for them: Aurier misses as he is ineligible. Foyth is fit to start again at right back. Moreno is ruled out, although you know it isn't the only injury concern that they've got. They've also got Asensio, Alsalsa, Danjuma, and Capoue all missed the weekend's game with knocks, but that could have just been precautionary, especially if he's got his eye on playing United this week. Predicted lineup: I think it's going to be Rulli, Foyth, Albiol, Torres, Pedraza, Pareo, Capoue, Coquelin, Danjuma, Dia, and Pino. Starman, Danjuma. He was their top scorer this season from out wide. 7 goals, 2 assists in 15 games. Out and out wide men. Total outlet for them in possession. Real skillful dribbler. Always looks to take his man on 1v1. Isn't afraid to take chances. Will be a danger. Again, he wreaked all sorts of havoc against us last time out. Do not expect that to be any sort of difference. Valencia then, they average 60.7% possession, which is the 3rd highest in the league. It's ridiculous, to be honest. They are about as possession-based as it comes. When you think the league that they're in, the position that they're in, they've also got the 4th best pass completion with 86.4%. They're not direct. They get the ball down, they play. They're very good at doing it. Another representation of how Villarreal play, really, and how they like to attack centrally is the fact that even though their pass completion is high, no team has actually had more passes intercepted than Villarreal in the league. So they're playing balls on the floor into tight spaces so you can intercept them, especially if you go a bit more compact against them. They've got the fifth best defensive record in La Liga, and have conceded the same amount of goals as Atletico Madrid. They are not easy to beat. They've drawn 9 of their 18 games this season, which is obviously half their games. They're in the top 2, 3, 4 for all sorts of stuff. Dribbling, progressive carries, players dribble pass, passes into the final third, dribbles into the final third, dribble success rate, passes attempted. All of these things they rank extremely high on. They're just not scoring as many goals as they should be scoring. And that's why they're drawing far too many games. They had someone who could put the ball in the net on a bit more of a regular basis. They'd be ridiculous. So how do United beat Villarreal? You got to be strong centrally, because they are. They like to overload the middle. That is where United's weakness is. So United have got to switch it up. They've got to go 4-3-3. You have to go 4-3-3 in this sense. And I think you've got to play Donny van de Beek. I really do. I really think you do. And a lot of people aren't going to like this. I think Fred's got to play. I think you need Fred's energy in there. But I think you've got to pair him, try Donny van de Beek and Bruno Fernandes. Bruno needs to sit deeper. He can't sit as a second striker where he normally sits. He needs to come a little bit deeper. And the pair of them two need to be better defensively than they've shown so far as well. But I believe both of them can do it. You're going to need a midfield that can win a battle. And that's what Fred's in there for a little bit. His speed will be needed rather than the sluggishness that you would get if you played Matic or possibly McTominay. Fernandes should have a lot deeper of a starting position, because I think that hurt us last time, and certainly last year in the final when we were playing out. Bruno's an excellent player with a brilliant first touch. Why he's not an option? He's not going to win it in the air, is he? So why does he stay high, right? He should be an option that's coming deep to collect the ball. And we need a very organised press. Villarreal will play out at all costs. They will not go long, right? They will not go long if you played from now till next weekend. If the press is good, you can nick the ball high. The 11 that I go with is as follows. They're in net. Again, not faultless for how this season's gone, but I don't see anybody else playing. Wan-Bissaka, Bay back in the mix just for a bit more aggression. Maguire, because there's no other options. Varane's miles away from fitness. And Telles, I think Luke Shaw's going to be injured, with Fred, Van der Beek and Bruno as a midfield 3, not as a 4-2-3-1. Sancho and Rashford either side of Ronaldo, because I think you've got to run at them. I think you run at them, you get into behind where those fullbacks are with direct, pacey players. That's Sancho and Rashford. And you get the ball in the box. You know, we saw at weekend, Van der Beek to Sancho into the box for Ronaldo, is a well-worn path that we can utilise and we should be utilising on a far more regular basis. Villarreal are not used to dealing with crosses, and they will not be used to dealing with someone with the aerial threat of Cristiano Ronaldo. So that's what you got to do. You got to look at in the space in between the fullback and centre-half. You got to exploit that space. You got to press them in that space. And you got to try and put pace in those areas. Rashford and Sancho will deliver that. So for me, that's how United have to go. I don't know if Michael Carrick's the man. I don't understand how Ole, who didn't really take training and according to loads of people wasn't doing anything anyway, has lost his job, and we've kept hold of Carrick, McKenna and Mike Phelan. Surely the team goes. If they weren't good enough, they all weren't good enough. So I don't understand the thought process behind everybody who was running and facilitating training still being around, unless it was all his ideas and they weren't putting any of their own ideas in, which again, you have to go, okay, well, if that's the case, this still doesn't make a lot of sense. We will find out tomorrow night, won't we? Cheers for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe. We'll be live after the game. See you in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.